Welcome to True Quit. This is the second of our free video series. The first was the 6 myths of quitting, so if you missed that, be sure to check that out. But right now, let's have a look at the problems of quitting. Do you really know what causes you to smoke? Have you thought about the causes of smoking? Do you really understand that? Or are you confused, like most smokers? How are you going to solve the problem of smoking, or how are you going to stop smoking if you're confused about the problem? I mean, like most problems, it makes sense, doesn't it, that we need to understand the problem first in order to find the solution. I mean, you can't find a solution until you understand the problem. So what causes you to smoke? I mean, if we ask that question, common answers are habit, nicotine addiction, enjoyment, regular behaviours or regular events in your day, like having a coffee or waking up, or so for some people getting in the car or on the telephone. Other answers are physical cravings in the body or mental cravings. Very common answers, there's many more. The thing is, are these the reasons why you smoke? Is everything that you enjoy out of control in your life, like smoking is? Why is it that the regular behaviours of, say, having a meal or a coffee don't make a non-smoker crave a cigarette? For a smoker, why has that changed? So the more you think about this, the more we see that these common answers don't really give us any clarity. So let's take a creative approach. Let's do a thought experiment to get some more insight into the problem of quitting. This thought experiment will actually show you what makes you smoke. In fact, you'll prove it to yourself what the problem of quitting is. Hypothetically, imagine that you had a device that made the cravings disappear instantly. In other words, it's like the little device you have to open your car door. It has a button on it, and let's say you had a craving. You then press the button and instantly that craving disappears. At that time you don't want to smoke, so you don't. Now, let's say the craving comes back, so you press the button again. And you can do this every time. Now also, imagine that it's unlosable. So you can never lose this device. You always have it with you. And let's imagine it's unbreakable. You can go swimming and it still works. You can't break it. So you've got this device that's unbreakable, unlosable, makes cravings disappear. How confident would you be to quit smoking? Think of a percentage of confidence. For example, if you said, if I had this device, maybe I'd be 80% confident, or would I be 50%, or 90%, or 100? So what percentage would you be? Now remember, you have this device, a magic button if you like, that makes the cravings disappear instantly each time it occurs, each time the cravings occur, and this device is unlosable and it's unbreakable. So what percentage confidence would you have that you could quit? If you said anything less than 100%, then think, what else other than the cravings would make you smoke? For example, if you said at 80%, then what accounts for that 20% that you don't have confidence? What would be making you smoke that accounts for that 20%? People often say that it would be the stress that would make them smoke, that despite having this device, or perhaps having a beer with their mates, or being bored at home by yourself, whatever, or having a coffee, or any number of other triggers. You see, these are all triggers that lead to a craving. So the question is, do these triggers, do these really make you smoke? Does stress actually make you smoke? Or does having a beer or a coffee or many other triggers, do they make you smoke? Or is it the cravings that are the problem? Remember, you can eliminate the cravings. In our hypothetical thought experiment, you can eliminate the cravings by pressing the button. For example, let's say stress occurs. You get a craving, a mental craving. So what do? You just press the button and the craving's gone. So no need to smoke. You have a coffee, you get a craving, you just press the button and the craving's gone. You're bored, you get a craving, you just press the button, the craving's gone. Thinking about this now that we've thought it through a little more, how confident would you be to quit now? So what percentage would you say that you could confidently say that you could quit? So most people at this point would say 100%, or very close to, once they've thought it through like that. They're confident that they could quit close to or 100% if you could eliminate the cravings without willpower, because that's effectively what this device would do. By pressing the button, you're not using willpower and it's eliminating the cravings. And if you had such a device, you would actually be able to quit. You're quite confident. You're basically saying that if you had such a device, you'd be 100% confident that you could quit. So in other words, that would mean that you'd be 100% confident that you could quit if you could eliminate the physical and mental cravings without willpower. We've just simplified the problem of quitting, haven't we? We've taken all those triggers, all those regular events in your life, the things that we would normally say are a problem for a smoker, and we've actually realised that it's not so much those triggers that are the problem, rather it's the cravings. So the problem of quitting is how to eliminate the physical and mental cravings without willpower. At this point, that might seem like an impossible task, particularly when you probably tried to quit many times and always found that you had to use willpower at some point. I mean, even people who've quit for many, many years and have no nicotine and no physical cravings are still getting mental cravings and actually having to use willpower. Well, that's because the methods that they've employed to try and quit and stay a non-smoker are not complete, to the extent that you need to supplement the method with willpower. What if there was a way where you could eliminate the physical and mental cravings without willpower? Does that mean that we can really do that just because we've done this creative thought experiment and come to that point? The thought experiment is just to give you a framework in which to conceive the problem of quitting and to actually simplify it down to these few elements. I mean, we've taken away all of the triggers as real problems, in the sense that if you can use a method to quit smoking without willpower that does eliminate the physical and mental cravings, well then you don't need to worry about those hundreds of triggers in your life. So the question then becomes, is this possible? Is there a method, is there a way that you can actually eliminate physical and mental cravings without willpower? Well, that's actually the subject of our next video. In the next video, we're going to give you an overview of exactly that, how it is possible to eliminate physical cravings and mental cravings and do it without willpower. You see, it's a recipe. So we'll give you a broad overview of how all that works, and then after that, in video 4, you'll get some success stories, some ordinary people, perhaps a bit like yourself, that maybe never thought they could quit and finally actually achieved what they thought was impossible, to the point where not only do they not smoke, but they do it without willpower and reach a point where they can prevent themselves from actually getting mental cravings. Anyway, look out for the third video, the solutions to the problems of quitting.